of human events and production by the relationship of socioeconomic classes. The term socioeconomic is the social rank and economic power an individual has. Social ranks can be divided into the proletariat and the bourgeois classes. The proletariat is the working class, which essentially does all the labor, and the bourgeois is upper class individuals, are CEOs, for example. The reason behind the inception of classes is the amount of power that each class has, and as the rich of the upper class get richer, they gain more control over all classes below them. Knowing that the lower class are expected to rebel, there's more oppression targeted towards them and more control by the government, which leads them to a more strict environment and a more oppressed environment, eventually leading to an imbalance in the socioeconomic power, hence the creation of classes. Aisha, over here!
From a Marxist perspective, the division of social class is more than just ethnicity, religion, race, and gender. It's a division between socioeconomic classes. The proletariat are blind to these differences and do not see that they're being manipulated by the bourgeoisie. The proletariat class is happy working for the upper class due to their false consciousness. False consciousness is a way of thinking that prevents a person from acknowledging the true nature of their social or economic stance. They believe they are helping themselves, but are actually helping the upper class. Individuals can be kept in a state of false consciousness through a repressive ideology called the American Dream, which keeps individuals in a state of false consciousness, stating that equal opportunities are available for everyone, supposedly allowing the dream of an obtainable future. But once the proletariat come to an understanding of their social stance, they gain what is referred to as class consciousness. This can be defined as a self-understanding of where members belong in a society. Where's Matthew?
Oh, sorry I'm late. Marxism believes that once individuals gain a class consciousness, they will revolt against the bourgeoisie, as their manipulation is prominent to them. Another Marxist belief is that of the commodity. To commodify means to give an object monetary value, which is known as an exchange value, or a sign exchange value, which means giving a person a value in society. An example of commodifying an individual would be those who are seen by society as sexual objects, as that would be their sign exchange value. Marxism attempts to criticize any other ideology as it is the only one which liberates one's thinking, rather than subject them to a set of biased principles. Beliefs such as classism, for example, promote the continuation of classes and ranks within society, while Marxism begs to the question of self-made freedom. The film, A Knight's Tale, directed by Brian Helgeland, portrays William's success story from a Marxist perspective. Helgeland attempts to endorse the idea of the American dream, yet inadvertently exposes its flaws.
Go.
When William was sent off to change the stars, the film portrayed his father's dream of changing his future as chasing the American dream. The reality of William's life should include the positives and the negatives of his journey to the dream. Nonetheless, the movie only portrays his final stage as a jouster, completely disregarding the path required. In order for the American dream to be genuine, the character must face hardship to ultimately reach a state of gratification. In William's case, he gets himself to the top by finding loopholes and does not actually struggle to achieve his dream. The American dream should be achieved through work that eventually leads to satisfaction, but William chooses to neglect the hard work, and as an alternative, he forges documents
Clothe
and
me,
faces identity
shoe me, for God's sake feed me, let me ride that horse a bit and you'll have your patents.
Demonstrating that the American dream is misinterpreted in A Knight's Tale.
You're not of noble birth.
Oh, so we lie.
The film continues to misinterpret the American dream, as William was forced to forfeit by the end of the movie. Nevertheless, the distortion becomes more evident as he is knighted, instead of facing what should have been his failure, which is being socially reduced to his least bourgeois stance.
By the power vested in me by my father, King Edward, and by all the witnesses here, I dub thee Sir William.
From a realistic perspective, a failure such as what William endured leads to reconstructing one's position in a social system. Moving from a jouster to a knight after the truth being revealed seems like an appropriate misinterpretation of the American dream.
Further into the movie, the value of a commodity is expanded on. It questions the authenticity of the American dream as Jocelyn places a sign exchange value on herself, making herself seem like a prize to William. This allows William's perception of her to be one that views her as something of great value.
I, Jocelyn, your prize. My prize.
Since Jocelyn is seen as a prize, she is viewed as something that is won, and since William did win her, his social ranking increases. This furthers the misinterpretation of the American dream, as she is devalued as a person, which increases William's socioeconomic status, hence him moving closer to his American dream. The second instance where commodification occurs is when William's skill is given an exchange value. This takes place when his friends are in a bar and are discussing an upcoming jousting tournament, and place money on who will win.
The wager they wish to make is that a Frenchman and not Sir Ulrich will win the tournament. However, the amount is 50 florins.
Well, that's all we got.
Yes, and if we had 60, the bet would be 60.
Even money, but Ulrich against every Frenchman here.
Oh, come on. He's won 4 tournaments in a row, and once again, Adamar is not here.
This focuses on the Marxist ideology of an exchange value, as William's way of achieving his American dream is being encouraged by his friends by putting a monetary value on his skills. Through his friends' support, the American dream can be misinterpreted as the film inadvertently condones William's actions. The use of sign exchange and exchange value is heavily relied upon in The Knight's Tale and vividly assists in the misinterpretation of the American dream.
The issue of social class is addressed at the beginning of the movie, when William's friends attempt to convince him into staying within his boundaries set because of societal norms. They advise him to stay away from taking risks.
And I won't spend the rest of my life as nothing.
That is nothing, and nothing is right where glory will take us.
We're the sons of peasants. Glory and riches and stars are beyond our grasp, but a full stomach, that dream can come true.
The quote, "I won't spend the rest of my life as nothing," explains his need for success and illustrates his objective of transition from one class to another. This is due to the fact that William is knowledgeable on the class system, and being part of the proletariat in the beginning of the movie allowed him to realize which class he aims to be in. From a Marxist perspective, a society with people of lower classes should expect some form of revolution as an uprising to get to higher classes. Through William's perseverance, he creates his own uprising against the odds which never seem to be in his favor. Once William creates another life for himself, the consequences for his behavior catch up to him, as society recognizes his true social status and forces him to quit his supposed American dream or forfeit from the game.
I'm a knight, and I will put myself to the hazard.
A knight in your heart, but not on paper.
His friends advise him to quit, and the concept of social class presents itself yet again. They reveal their class consciousness when they acknowledge the reality behind their position, that no matter where they stand in rankings, their true position socially can always be revealed by upper classes.
As the film aimed to accurately represent the path to creating a success story and supposedly paved the way for the route taken to reach the American dream, it failed to authenticate the experience of reaching higher social classes when their beginning was of the lower class. The shortcut used by William to reach his American dream reflected on the fact that it is unattainable, which is the reason why William chooses to forge documents and creates another identity.
This was not documented in the movie. This struggle was not apparent at all. Elements such as commodification and class consciousness were implemented in the film and assisted the misinterpretation of the American dream. Commodification causes individuals to be devalued and indirectly condones William's dishonorable actions.
And finally, class conscious assists in proving that the American dream is falsely portrayed, as it is acknowledged that William is not truly a knight and is of the lower class. A Knight's Tale, directed by Brian Hedlund, does not accurately present the American dream and uses Marxist ideologies to prove it.